Top stories from around the island. To the point. Without the fluff. Puerto Rico headline news. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell notification.
Hello, and welcome to Puerto Rico Headline News for April 29th, 2020. If this is your first time here, please subscribe, like, and share this content. For my current subscribers, I want to thank you for your continued support. I know I haven't put out a video in over a week. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. In actuality, I was reviewed by YouTube. My channel was reviewed based on the amount of subscribers that I have, the amount of watch hours. So it's actually pretty good news. The only thing they did submit or require some changes to be done to my channel, which is what I've done, or I've taken the time to look into and to make sure that I am able to comply. A lot of it has to do with the COVID-19 reporting, making sure that it's not any misinformation or any fear mongering that's taking place in the channel. I certainly try to avoid that. I base my reporting on articles that appear in the Puerto Rico news sources, and basically what I do is cover the article, almost interpret the information that's there, translate it, and then just upload it here on this channel with some commentary, of course, but sticking to the article, making sure there's no misinformation out there. And that's essentially what YouTube wants to make sure regarding topics related to COVID-19. Which are very popular right now, is to make sure that the information that's being provided is based on facts, and not something that's being conjured up to promote fear. So once again, thank you to the subscribers that checked in on me, and just wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on. So let's get back to a little bit of the reporting here. I'll essentially try to cover maybe what's occurred up to now and back into last week as well. So it's just first things first is get the accurate or up-to-date information on what's going on here in Puerto Rico regarding top news. And one of those top news is information or facts related to the COVID-19 here in Puerto Rico. And if we go to the Puerto Rico COVID-19 information portal that's provided by the Department of Health, we can see here the latest figures that they've reported today as of 6 a.m. this morning. We see here that they have the total amount of COVID-19 cases up to 1,433. There used to be a little button down here that you could select, and it would give you additional information on the amount of tests that have been conducted up to date, how many were pending. That's been eliminated, and I'll tell you why in just a second. This tells us now there's a breakdown of these confirmed tests, broken up in two sections, one by the serological or the rapid tests, and the other one is the molecular or the PCR test. So the rapid test is the test that gives you results within 5 to 45 minutes, and it's based on a finger prick and a blood test, and they are able to detect any antibodies that your body's produced against the COVID-19, and they're able to tell, hey, at one time or currently you're infected, your body's responded well, it's produced antibodies. So that's what that data provides. And then the molecular is what's called the PCR, and that takes a few days to get results on. It's more accurate, but it does take longer. So that's the new breakdown that's included here. There used to be more additional information, but that's been eliminated, and I'll also explain why. We have the total amount of deaths so far are 86. 54 are directly related to COVID-19. In other words, these were people who were tested prior to dying and were confirmed to having COVID-19. And then 32 are certified after death. These are people that died, did not get a COVID-19 test to determine if they were infected, and it wasn't until after they died where the medical or a doctor certifies based on their symptoms that their death could be related to COVID-19 with their best guess, and even though a test hasn't been conducted. So those are 32, giving us a total of 86 deaths have been reported. This information remains the same here, and it gives us the entire map of Puerto Rico, the concentration or the clusters of the concentration of the COVID-19 cases on the island. And as we continue to see, there's a higher concentration in the San Juan area. And based compared to last week, we see a higher concentration that's starting to spread throughout the rest of the island. This is separated by municipality. We click here and it'll give us based on region. So we do see that the metropolitan area, San Juan metro area, has the highest concentration of COVID-19 cases, this entire east area, and then followed by the Maya West region and Ponce. We have like the Fajardo area over here, not as affected as much, and then this rural area out here on the northwest region of the island. Vieques and Culebra still do not have any confirmed cases based on the information we see here provided by the Department of Health. As far as beds that are available, we'll concentrate in this section right here. Um, Actually, no. We see that there's total amount of beds, 3,511 are available for coronavirus cases. But in general, regardless of whether it's for COVID-19 or not, there's 6,385 beds available throughout the island. 2,874 are currently being used, so that leaves us with 3,511 beds, regardless of COVID-19. That are available. Ventilators. There's a total of 1,043 ventilators on the island. 256 are being used, so that leaves us with 787 that are available. And then we have the bar graph here that just gives us another visual to see where the concentration of the COVID-19 cases are located on the island. Now, if you noticed and you compared to prior versions of the Puerto Rico COVID-19 information portal, the information is much more limited. They've limited the amount of information that they used to provide, and I'll explain why. Here, this article came out on Wednesday, April 22nd, um, and it reported that the health department miscounted 383 COVID-19 cases. In other words, they had been reporting a higher amount of confirmed cases than there were in actuality. So by Wednesday, April 22nd, they had reached a number of 1,298 confirmed cases. In actuality, reviewing the numbers, they had at that point only 915. A situation that occurred in reading this article, many cases that were counted once, twice, even three times. The same person. They just weren't keeping track of those that were being tested and how many times they were being tested. So every time they got a test result, didn't matter if it was the same person, they counted it as a confirmed case. So that breaking news was very concerning and caused a lot of anxiety among the people here in Puerto Rico, uh, learning that the Department of Health for Puerto Rico was miscounting and misinforming, not what I'm saying, but what was reported here in the newspaper by reporters that called out the information. And then it was confirmed that the information they're reporting was wrong. That led to another article here, April 28th. Now we go into this week, and it says still it's unclear the amount of testing or the amount of tests of COVID-19 tests that have been conducted in Puerto Rico since that information has been eliminated from the information portal. Now it's unclear. On a daily basis, we were beginning to compare. At that point last week, they were conducting about 200 to 215, 250 tests a day. They've eliminated that information that they were providing, so now it's a toss-up. We really don't know how many tests have been conducted on a daily basis and up to this point. So that information has been eliminated. And as of yesterday as well, Lorenzo Gonzalez, the Secretary of the Department of Health, announced yesterday that they had already conducted over 30,000 COVID-19 tests. just within a week's time from being, I think it was about 12,000 tests that were conducted. In just 1 week, they more than doubled that number. And of course, they took it away from the information portal, and I guess it would be hard for reporters to confirm this information now that it's been eliminated from the information portal. So all we can do is but trust the information that the secretary is providing to the press and, of course, to the population here. And that's from that article there. What are we expecting this week? It's going to be a busy week. Today is Wednesday. May 3rd was the extension, the last extension of the lockdown was supposed to continue until Sunday, May 3rd. There's still no word whether that lockdown is going to be extended or not. The medical task force, along with the economic task force, have been meeting together to try to plan a slow reopening of the economy. Once again, Lorenzo Gonzalez had reported that the peak in Puerto Rico wouldn't happen until this week. Actually, the first week of May um, was the expected peak based on his numbers, which of course now are, are 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 not correct. Um, but based on the information he did have a few weeks ago, he determined that the peak here in Puerto Rico would occur in the first week of May, and that's exactly when they are looking to um, lessen the restrictions here in Puerto Rico. So we're not sure if that's a smart move, but the people are eager to have some easing of the restrictions here on the island. So when will we learn about that? Well, normally, as a pattern, we've learned about these extensions 1 or 2 days before the expiration of the prior lockdown. So hopefully by Friday or Saturday, we'll have more information on the lockdown, whether it's going to be extended, any easing of restrictions, and anything related with the economy. And I'll certainly report on that as soon as that information breaks. Once again, thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate the support. As I said, this is just a temporary thing with the adjustments that are being made with to be in line with YouTube. And so just bear with me, but I will continue to report news that's very important to us here living in Puerto Rico, especially when we don't have easy access to any English-based news sources. And that's essentially what I try to do through this channel. So once again, thanks for watching. This is Puerto Rico Headline News.